Can you hear me now? Oh, that was just want to wait. Okay. Can you hear? Don't want. Okay. What to do? Is that better? Am I here? Can you hear me? Um, I'm here. I'm here. Yay! Oh my God. You know, I've been sitting here since 8 o'clock, making sure that everything was working. And now that, I'm live, nothing worked. Okay, well, let's start. Let there be sound. All right, let's start at the top. Who we got here? We have Gail and Barb. Cindy was here, but she had to leave for a bit. Doug is here. Yay! Oh, who else we got here? I thought I saw Jeff. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning. Okay. All right. Since we've had a bit of a 10-minute delay, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. As you can see, I'm working in the studio today. I brought you out here. Oh, and Doug, just so you know, yes, evidently I was logged into StreamYard twice. I'm looking down here at the corner of my computer and talking to Doug. So, okay. So I brought you out here in the studio. Oh, I'm ashamed to admit there have been some things going on in my studio that I've been putting off and putting off and putting off. Like straightening things out and organizing things and putting things in places. And the reason this is because, and I know I've said this before, I want to break this space out into zones. For example, the space behind me here, this area right here, I want to make that a print and cut station. Right now, it has my Juliet cutter and my Cricut cutter sitting there behind the stack of stabilizer. Well, this is all stabilizer that won't fit in my regular location. So what am I going to do about that? Well, I just ordered, and I would show you, but I'm scared to death that if I bring up another screen, that I'm going to lose you again. But anyways, I bought a 6-foot wire rack shelf. It is only about 16 inches by 10, and I plan to put it in this corner. And it's got those adjustable shelves. And I plan to put all the stabilizer there, which will free up my print and cut station. Of course, I have my two machines here, and in between my two machines, this is going to be this way, is a 4-foot table that, again, is stacked with stuff. And then over here, I have another 4-foot table that I put a wire rack on. And my heat press are over there. Oh, sorry. And you guys are sitting so far away from me on my little laptop computer that I have to. Good morning, Jesse. Reach in when I see something. I'm making headway getting my shop finished. I have embroidery machine, heat press, pegboard set up, wood cut to make 2 working tables. Good job, Doug. Good job. Okay, so I have the big spaces. Sorry, it's a bit warm here. I have the big spaces. I just need to organize things. So let me tell you what I did. I went out and did a little shopping. 2 stores, just 2 stores. I went to Five Below. I don't know, it's like a Dollar Tree, but for $5 and less. Sound right? Morning, Cindy. So glad to have you back. And I went to Home Goods. You know, both of those are like, good morning, Woody. It's good to see you. Both of those are like discount spaces. Home Goods, for example, is a place where overruns and excess stock goes from a couple of different stores. Five Below, like I said, is like a Dollar Tree for $5. So I just went wandering around in the stores to see what I could see, and I picked up a few things. Now, I had originally hoped to, all right, Cindy, you keep driving. You'll have to come back and look at the pictures later. I had hoped to use my overhead camera here, but you know, you saw how that went. So we're going to do this show and tell. This little box here, I picked up at the Five Below. And my reasoning for this box, I like to keep tools handy at both my machines. At all of my workstations. So I have something like this for my SWF machine, but I don't have something like this for my new Happy or for my, let's get this right, print station. So I picked up a couple of these. And as you can see, it opens up. What did they call this? They call it, no, just a storage box with a flip top lid. It's a storage box with a flip top lid. But you see there's little compartments for small bits and then larger compartment for larger bits. Yeah, seam rippers, measuring tapes, all those little bitty things that you want to keep at your machines, but you don't want them just floating around cluttering everything. Just a little storage box. You know, if you happen to have a spare one, you could use. Yeah, we're going to get to that, Cindy. Yes, I did. You could use like a fishing tackle box. You know, those little fishing tackle boxes. But I like this one because you can kind of see through it and see what's in it. I'm all about the visibility. Okay. So that's one little piece. Now that was, oh, I got this too. Now, I picked this one up. I have to admit, you can't see through it, but it was pink. All right, I got kind of a thing about pink. If you could see my table, you would see that. But this is called a 2-layer bento box. Bento boxes are generally boxes for food type things, you know, lunches. It has a lid. Comes with utensils that I probably will never use, but it is 2 layers. And there's actually 2 lids. So this is actually where the utensils get stored, but it fits here like a lid. So I can actually use this as 2 pieces. Now, I would probably put a label. To identify what's inside, because again, it's not clear. I've done that. Woody says that used to put coffee mugs to store things, and pens and seam rippers and anything that can stick up in a coffee mug. What does Barb have here? I label everything either with the label maker or a cut sign vinyl. Yeah, again, print and cut station. Labels. So that's what I found at the Five Below. Now we're going to switch over to, which, Five Below is $5 or less. So yeah, that was about $10. No big deal. Next ones were a little bit pricier, but I think it's worth it. And I'll show you in a moment. This set was $8. Yep, $8. Not only is it clear, but it is stackable. Again, I like things you can see through. But this will hold a lot of stuff, and it doesn't take up a lot of room. It's only about 3.5 inches wide, and I would say I try to keep things handy. It is 9 inches long. Not bad, huh? Oh, that's pretty. Barb says that she takes soup cans, empty soup cans. I'm assuming she cleans them out, and then she wraps them with a pretty paper and puts long tools in them at each workstation. That's nice. I like recycling and upcycling. Of course, obviously I didn't do that in this case. I just wanted to bring in some new pieces into the shop, into the studio. So they called this just the modular clear drawer organizer. Yeah. And this one's a cosmetic organizer, and it was a little pricier. It was, how much was it? Oh, not too much. This one was $10. Again, it's clear. It has 6 drawers. Kind of pretty. What have you got here, Woody? We repurpose. Sorry, like I said, I need to pull in. We repurpose almost all of our scraps, testers. We don't know what to do with the hats yet, so we've got a small mountain. Oh, we might have some ideas about that. Barb says she does have acrylic makeup bins with dividers for scissors and other tools. Each workstation has its set of tools: embroidery, sewing, laser cut. I'm all for that. How many times have you gone to you're at your workstation, whatever you're doing, and you go to reach for a tool and you realize, oh, I left that over at the other place. And then you have to go find it. And, it's just easier to have tool sets at each machine, at each work location. But I like this because, again, it has drawers. It's sturdy enough to where I can set something on top of it. It's actually made so that you can stack another one on top. Might have to go back and get a couple more. We'll see after I start cleaning and organizing. But to go with this one, because those drawers are about 4 by 4 by 1.5 inches deep. So it'll hold a lot, but it'll hold a lot of smaller stuff. But what if I need something bigger? Well, then there was this one. This is a multi-use organizer. Yeah, this one's kind of pretty. Not that pretty should be your aim. Functional. This one's functional. Hey, Letty. Oh, what is she saying? I have magnetic loops and hang a stretchy, are you saying cord? Scissors are fastened to the end and it sticks to the leg under the machine so they don't venture. Oh, I see. You mean like, remember when you were a kid and your mom clipped your mittens to your coat so they wouldn't go anywhere? Or they were on a cord that kind of strung through your coat and they kind of hung there? Yep, I got you, Letty. Here. The thing with that, and obviously I'm not in the habit of it. The thing with that, can you see that? Yeah. That's a scissor. And that's for the seam ripper. Yeah. To make that work, you have to actually put things where you found them. And I'll do that. Like I said, I've got a lot of things that have been going on here. But again, this one is clear. And it has drawers. And it is stackable. Has a lot more space in here. It's measured out. This one is 11 inches by 1 3/4 inches by 7 inches. That's a lot of space. And honestly, I'm picking scissors, just all kinds of scissors in here, and it will sit on this table that I plan to use as a hooping area. I have some pretty large hoops now, and I'm doing a lot of larger hoop things, so I need a good flat area. But I also need to keep my tools handy. So this was the most expensive piece I bought. This was a $20 piece. But I plan to make really good use of it. Now, one of the things that I don't like about my table, TJ Maxx has a nice, TJ Maxx is a home good affiliate. So TJ Maxx's overstock eventually filters over to Home Goods. But I might just go there and see what we can find. Now, on my tables are those 4-foot conference tables with the laminated tops, which are great, but things have a tendency to slide. And when I'm hooping, I don't want that hoop to slide, especially the bigger hoops. What does Barb say here? I use plastic parts cabinets with small drawers to keep all sizes of needles. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Embroidery sewing, industrial sewing needles. Each station has one. All the drawers are labeled. I've seen those at, obviously the hardware store, but we have a Harbor Freight in our area. I love shopping Harbor Freight for a lot of studio tools. Okay, let's go back to my tables. Love my tables. They're perfect size. They're only 4 foot long. I can move them and configure them in my studio wherever I want. But the laminated tops, again, it's kind of slippery slidey. So what do? 5 Below to the rescue. And they're fairly thin. These are yoga mats. These are $5 yoga mats. See my coloring? Yeah. $5 yoga mats at the Five Below. And I think, Gail, I love the Harbor Freight. I don't know that I would buy them, do a lot with industrial tool uses, but I like them for my home use. Going back to this yoga mat, it's a little thin for yoga, but it's perfect on the tabletop. You put it on the tabletop and nothing slides. It's just a rubber mat. And it's great. And because I'm using a 4-foot table and I cut my mat to size, I have leftover mat that I can cut into smaller pieces if needed for other areas. What do you think of that? Let me put that over there. Let's see. Barb says she uses the Husky tables with cutting mats on all of them. It was a spendy process, but worth it. I did use 3/4 inch plywood, but it was sagging. You can't see them, but I have I have 3 Husky rolling tool carts that I use. And again, need to organize them a little bit. I've been using them as a catch-all. I need to change that out. But they're great in the shop. And they now come in assorted colors. You can get white, and you can get yellow, and you can get red, and you can get black. So yeah, you can make them fit in your workspace. Let's see. Now this is something that I need to check out. Storing my multi-hoops is my last conundrum to solve at the shop. Multiples of the same size, debating the pegboard, but not quite sold yet. The yoga mat is a good idea. If you're going to go with the pegboard, and I have a small pegboard system over here that I've outgrown with my Mighty Hoops. Make sure that you get a pegboard space large enough to where you can, and then use the longer hooks, but that you can store each size without touching another one. We all know they're magnetic, but it also makes for a better visual presentation when they are sorted and laid. Think of the garage pegboard system with all of Dad's tools or husband's tools, where he's got all of his hammers hanging, hammer, C-clamps. Everything has its place. All right. Barb loves the carts. I have one in the DTF print area, one in the craft room. I did take the wheels off because I'm short. I'm a big person with wheels. I love the wheels. Let's see. What else does she have here? If you use the pegboard, get the plastic locks for the hooks as they keep the pegs from moving with the magnet. Oh, that's a good idea. Plastic versus metal. Doug has a pegboard system. It's 4x4, 4 foot by 4 foot. Doug, while we're here talking about pegboards, did you, I'm assuming you didn't mount these flat to your wall. I'm assuming that you probably put some sort of framing on the back of them so that they pull out from the wall a little bit. Does that sound about right? Okay. So now here's the thing. I have a massive mess in here. I sure do. And I would love to say it'll all be cleaned this week. But we still have our work to do in between all of this. So how are we going to make this happen? Oh my goodness, we're already at 32 minutes. How are we going to make this happen? One of the things, yes, 1x2s. Okay, so on the back of his pegboards, he has mounted little 1x2 strips to help pull it away from the wall so that you got something to put the pegs in with. One of the things that I tell a friend of mine all the time is you can only eat an elephant one bite at a time. You have this massively huge project. How are you going to get through it? One bite at a time. Break it up. So, for example, today, this table space here, which has my overhead camera, which we can't use because of technical difficulties, right now, this is a staging area. I will sort and put things here and then resort and put things back. If there's anything to purge, it will go in the Salvation Army box. But for the most part, I think it's all going to stay. It just needs to find a home. Let's see. Barb says she has a pegboard system in her area, in her sewing area. Pegboard fanatic. They have pegboard attachment kits, basically rubber washers and screws. Ooh, have to look for that. Okay, so when you're ready to start working your space over, pick an area, spend 10 minutes, spend 15 minutes just picking through, go back to whatever you were doing, and then come back again. Just bit by bit by bit, it will come together. Now, I know at this point I'm starting to rush a little bit because I think I'm keeping you guys. I know we got a late start, but I don't want to keep you all day. I have a couple of other things I want to mention real quick. One of them is really sweet. So while I was out shopping, you go through the Home Goods register and you have to go through this whole maze of, walls of eye candy. And I found something that I could not pass up. I found a new coffee mug. Yeah, isn't that pretty? Here's the thing that caught my eye. This coffee mug, oh, and you can't read it. This coffee mug is called Bella. Not only does it have pink, it's also named after my dog, after my Bella. So we will feature this mug next week. And one other last thing, Cindy King sent me a sampler box. Look at this. She sent me a sampler box. And Cindy is True, your daughter. Yeah. I also got a special note from True with a special gift, which is hanging in my office. But she sent some action backing that we're going to give a try. She sent over some needles, different bobbin sets. And here's the part, this is what started all of this. Do you remember the episode not too long ago where I was talking about doing a patch project with my laser, but needing to find a different type of backing or fabric base? I'm assuming these are probably end cuts from her stash, but she sent this felt product, which is so stiff. It's going to make the perfect patches, which means that I'm going to go back on track with my laser project. For those of you that have been here or have watched the previous videos, I'm trying to find a way to use my laser to cut out finished patches. There was a hiccup with that. The positioning system on the laser was not as precise as it should be. It was actually kind of hit or miss. And when I brought that up to the technical support with the laser company, they admitted that yes, they were having problems with that, but they hope to have them resolved in the next update. The update has come out. So between having this felt, and I do, Letty wants to know if this came from Gunold. I'll confirm with Cindy, but I do believe she said it was a Gunold project or product. So we'll find out for sure. So this week, along with everything else and along with piecing through, this week, I'm hoping to get back on track with my laser patch cutting project. So we'll see how that goes. If it doesn't happen, because, sometimes it doesn't, what do you guys want to talk about? Send me a message. Let me know. I will put something together for you. Maybe the next time we sit in the studio with the camera, it'll be in much better shape. And I'll have the overhead working. Fingers crossed. So, anything else? No? I want to thank you all for being here today. And thank you for powering through my technical issues, my camera issues. I appreciate that. And Doug, thank you. I would never have thought to look to see if I had 2 tabs. And that's what it was. I had 2 tabs open on the computer. So we're going to go now. You all have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you all next week.
Wasn't that fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.